Hey, so I'm going to be doing another video, but I'm gonna briefly, kind of talk about changes that I have made and things like that. And I'm also gonna talk about, why I have dreadlocks, because people have sometimes asked me that, and I feel like I may as well explain it. So first of all, I changed my bangs. I dreaded them and I added extensions onto the ends of them as well. So basically all of these guys I did. So I made six. Yes, I made six new dreads for my bangs. And I just did them. I did all these in one night. I just did them a couple hours. It didn't take me very long. And I also got a new one here because there was a bunch of loose hair here, so I figured I could make a dread from it, so I did. And that's this here. I have another one in here. I've had this dread just kind of by itself for a long time, like just my normal hair by itself, because it wasn't really a big dread, but then I started to dread on its own, and so I figured I may as well make it long, so I added this. And I also made a new one in the front because when I looked at my hair, it looked like there was like kind of a space in here because I have like tufts of like my hair in here, and this entire dread used to be just like tufts of hair, so it kind of looked like just a space. I didn't like that, so I changed it into a dreadlock, and not that one, and I put just one extension on the end of it, not two, just because I kind of like the way it looks with just one. So that's that. Yeah, it's basically about all the changes that I've made. So I now am up to 45 dreadlocks now, and I'm really liking it. I can't wait till I can take the elastic. What I do when I make dreads is that I put elastic bands at, oh, one came out. Okay, this one came out. I had to come out in the last 10 minutes because it was in there just a second ago. But anyways, I put elastic bands at the roots, as you can see here, and like I put them all along just to like, kind of get them to dread up without me having to use a crochet hook. And that works out really well. It's worked out so far for all these ones. Actually, one of my tightest dreads had an elastic band around it for I think like 6 months, and then I finally found it and took it out. So it's still holding strong, so yeah, that's good. Sometimes people ask me, why I have dreadlocks, and to be honest, it doesn't really have significance for me in the way it does for other people. I got dreadlocks because I thought they looked like really cool and stuff like that. Like when I first started looking at dreadlocks, I thought that looked really awesome, so I was like, maybe I can get dreadlocks, and then I did, and I love them. But lots of people not lots of people, I should say some people get kind of offended when you have dreadlocks and you're not like Rastafarian or anything like that, because that's kind of what it signifies. But at the same time, I think that it can be both, like, I guess a fashion statement as well as, like a religious statement, because, with our changing world, there are lots of things that kind of change with it. So I think that it's kind of both. But for me, I really only got them because I thought they looked really cool, and I really liked that I wouldn't have to do anything to my hair ever again. I wouldn't have to worry about the way they looked ever again. I really liked that fact. I'm a kind of a lazy person, so I really liked that fact that I never had to worry about what they would look like again, and I don't. And the only thing that is sad is that I can never curl my hair again, but at the same time, like, I love my dreadlocks, so I'm not really that heartbroken over it. And normal hair, you can't really put in accessories like these, so it's more fun. But yeah, I really like having dreadlocks. It's just so simple and it's so easy. And I was talking to my dad, and he was saying that people kind of frown upon dreadlocks just because it's nonconformist. But when I made dreadlocks, I didn't think of it as being nonconformist. I just thought of it like it's just hair. So why can't I do that? Like, if people cut their hair short and shave their head, why can't I just make dreadlocks? It's all just hair. So I never really thought of it like that, but I guess it is nonconformist. But it's not nonconformist in the sense that I feel like it's something that needs to be worried about or needs to be frowned upon. It's just, everyone I think needs to kind of try and embrace diversity a little bit more, which I guess can be a little bit hard for some people, so it's not really something that I try to worry about because, you know, if it doesn't bother me, then why bother worrying about it? I don't believe I've ever gotten any hateful comments about my dreadlocks. You know, there was one time, I used to live in a really small town, and there was one time when a city bus came through, and there were a couple of people who got off the bus, and they were just kind of, you know, chilling, just hanging around downtown, and then I walked by, and one of them shouted Rastafarian or something at me like that. Someone shouted that at me, and I didn't want to be like, no, I'm not, but like, because it's not really a big deal, but at the same time, I think that it's, I don't really like that people kind of assume that, you know, that's what I believe, or that, you know, I kind of want to believe that. Like, I have my own faith, and I really think that that's not anyone else's business, so I don't really think it's fair for someone else to kind of shout that to me when that they don't know me at all. Like, I'm a stranger on the street, you're a stranger on the street. Like, I really don't think that it's fair someone to say that to me, but at the same time, it wasn't something hateful, so I wasn't hurt by it. I wasn't like, you know, shocked or anything like that. It's just kind of, you know, roll with the punches. But also, it's a little understandable because in this small town, it's actually kind of known for being like stoner town. So a lot of people in this town kind of like really like Bob Marley and really are into like Rastafarian and things like that, right? So like, not saying I'm being judgmental or anything about that. Like, yeah, like, go ahead. Lots of people like Bob Marley, lots of people are Rastafarian, you know, have at it. But it's just not me. So I guess it's understandable that someone could assume something like that, but still, I didn't really appreciate it. But, you know, whatever. And at my new school, I've gotten, you know, lots of people just coming up to me and asking me like how I made them and things like that, you know, how I maintain them. And so I could explain that a little bit more too. What I do is I use the twist and rip method. I probably mentioned that before, and that's, you can find lots and lots of videos on the twist and rip method. For me, I think it's the best one to use simply because when I did my other research, it's like I recommend definitely doing lots and lots of research before you get dreadlocks, just because you want to make sure that you do it right, and because it's a bitch to have to comb it out, to be honest. It really is. I didn't have to, but I wanted to in the back, so I really just didn't like it. So really, you should really do your research, because you'd rather do it right the first time and then never have to fix it again. But anyways, when I did research, I found a couple methods like back combing, you know, twist and rip, using wax, things like that. I didn't get mine professionally done, I just did them with my sister, but we used the twist and rip, so you can find lots of videos on that. But for me, again, I think it's the best one because you don't really lose any length in your hair unless you use a crochet hook like religiously. You don't really lose any length, so that's one thing that I really liked because I had short hair, and I wanted extended dreads obviously, so I didn't want to lose any length. But yeah, and when I did, and I don't know if you lose length when you use wax. I'm pretty sure you do when you do back combing, because that one gets them really tight. I hear, like, right off the bat, if you do it right, I hear that they're pretty tight like when you first get them, but you also can lose a lot of length when you do that. I don't know, so don't take my word for it, but I hear that you can. I definitely would not recommend wax. I'm pretty sure you can ask almost anybody who has dreadlocks and they will tell you not to use wax, because wax can get stuck in your dreadlocks and then you can't get it out. It can create mold, and sometimes they just don't really look that nice, right? You know, like a lot of the time they look just kind of like patches of hair that are just kind of not going together right, so it doesn't really look like dreadlocks. And like, you know, it's fine if you want them to start like that so they can kind of mature and then grow into like the kind of dreadlocks that you want. For me, I don't like that because I like to be the way it looks like now. I'm not really that patient, so this worked better for me. But again, I just wouldn't recommend wax, just because if you want to get the wax out, lots of the time you have to wait till they grow and then you have to gradually like cut it out as it goes along, so I wouldn't recommend that. But then again, to each his own, you know, if you want to do those dreads, go ahead. I'm got no problem with that. But I think that's about it for me to say right now. I've been talking for around 10 minutes, so hopefully you'll have fun, or this will have helped people out or anything. So yes, see ya.